Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to the channel. In a world buzzing with distractions, responsibilities, and constant demands on our attention, it's easy to get lost in the noise. Our minds race from one thought to another, from one desire to the next. We often feel like we're running a marathon with no finish line, always chasing something: success, love, happiness, or even just a sense of calm. But what if I told you there's another way, a simpler, more profound way to live that doesn't require you to achieve anything, but instead invites you to be? Today, I want to take you on a journey back to yourself, back to the stillness that has always been there, waiting for you beneath the surface of your thoughts. Together, we'll explore the art of letting go, of surrendering to the present moment, and discovering the profound peace, joy, and freedom that arise when we do. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. When was the last time you truly felt alive in the moment? Not thinking about the past or worrying about the future, but simply being fully and completely present. If it's been a while, that's okay. Life has a way of pulling us out of the present and into a whirlwind of thoughts, plans, and distractions. But here's the good news. No matter how far you feel from that place of presence, it's always available to you. And the journey back starts right here, right now. Take a deep breath, close your eyes if you can, and let the busyness of your day melt away for a moment. This is your time, your space to reconnect, reflect, and realign with what truly matters. Let's begin by exploring what it truly means to be present. Presence isn't just a concept or a fleeting experience. It's a state of being that underlies everything we do. When we're present, we're fully alive. We see, hear, and feel the world around us with a clarity and depth that's often missing in our everyday lives. But why is presence so elusive? Why do we spend so much of our time caught up in thoughts, worries, and distractions? To understand this, we need to look at the nature of the mind. The mind is an incredible tool, capable of solving complex problems, creating art, and dreaming up entire worlds. But it has one major limitation. It's almost always focused on the past or the future. Think about it. How often do you find yourself replaying old memories, analyzing conversations, or planning for what's next? While the mind is busy with these tasks, the present moment slips away unnoticed. Yet the present is all we truly have. The past is gone and the future is uncertain. Life is happening now. So, how do we reclaim the present? How do we train our minds to stop wandering and start being? One simple practice is mindful awareness. This means paying attention to what's happening in the here and now without judgment or distraction. You can start small by noticing the sensation of your breath, the feeling of the ground beneath your feet, or the sound of birdsong outside your window. When you bring your awareness to these simple experiences, something magical happens. The chatter of the mind quiets down, and a sense of peace begins to emerge. But presence isn't just about finding peace. It's also about connecting with the richness of life. When you're present, even the simplest things, like sipping a cup of tea or watching the rain, can become deeply meaningful. Take a moment to reflect on this. What are some small, ordinary moments in your day that you could approach with more presence? How might your life change if you did? One of the biggest obstacles to presence is attachment. Attachment shows up in many forms. The desire for a certain outcome, the need for approval, or the longing for things to stay the same. At its core, attachment is the mind's way of trying to control life. But here's the paradox. The more we cling, the more we suffer. Imagine holding onto a rope so tightly that your hands start to hurt. This is what attachment does to our hearts and minds. It creates tension, anxiety, and dissatisfaction because life is inherently unpredictable and ever-changing. To illustrate this, let's look at a common example: relationships. Many of us seek happiness through our connections with others, which is natural and beautiful. But when we become attached to how a relationship should look or how someone should behave, we set ourselves up for disappointment. This doesn't mean we shouldn't care about people or strive for meaningful connections. It simply means recognizing that true happiness doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. So how do we let go of attachment? The first step is awareness. Notice when you're clinging to a specific outcome or resisting change. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing? Why am I holding on so tightly? The second step is acceptance. Let life unfold as it will, trusting that every experience, whether pleasant or challenging, has something to teach you. And finally, practice gratitude. When you focus on what you already have instead of what you lack, attachment begins to loosen its grip. Take a moment now to reflect. What are you currently attached to in your life? How might letting go bring you closer to peace? Control is another major barrier to presence. We like to believe that we can control our lives, shaping them to fit our desires and expectations. But the truth is, much of life is beyond our control. The weather changes, people make unexpected choices, and circumstances shift in ways we can't predict. This isn't a bad thing, it's simply the nature of existence. The illusion of control is tied to the ego. The part of us that wants to feel powerful and secure. The ego whispers that if we just try hard enough, plan well enough, or work long enough, we can make life turn out exactly as we want. But what happens when things don't go according to plan? We feel frustrated, anxious, or defeated. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing what's within your power and what isn't. It means trusting the flow of life and responding to challenges with grace instead of resistance. A simple exercise can help with this. Write down a current challenge you're facing. Divide a piece of paper into 2 columns: what I can control and what I can't control. List everything under each category. Once you've completed your list, focus only on the things you can control. For everything else, practice surrender. Reflect on this. What would your life feel like if you stopped trying to control the uncontrollable? Presence isn't something we achieve once and for all. It's a practice, something we cultivate daily. One of the simplest ways to practice presence is through mindful activities. These are everyday tasks that you approach with full awareness, such as mindful walking. Feel each step. Notice your surroundings and breathe deeply. Mindful eating. Savor each bite, paying attention to the flavors and textures. Mindful listening. Truly hear what someone is saying without planning your response. Another powerful practice is meditation. Sitting in silence, observing your breath or thoughts, can help you develop a deeper connection to the present moment. But you don't have to meditate for hours to experience the benefits. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. Let's try it now. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and then slowly exhale. Focus on the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your body. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. How did that feel? Even a brief moment of stillness can be deeply refreshing. Letting go isn't about gaining freedom. When we release our attachments, judgments, and need for control, we open ourselves to life's infinite possibilities. We become more flexible, resilient, and at peace. In Buddhist philosophy, this concept is known as non-attachment. It's not about detachment or indifference, but about loving and living fully without clinging. One way to practice letting go is through self-inquiry. When you notice resistance or tension, ask yourself, what am I holding on to? What would happen if I let it go? Often the very act of questioning brings clarity and release. Letting go also involves forgiveness, not just of others, but of ourselves. We're all human, doing the best we can with what we know. Reflect on this. What are you ready to let go of today? As we come to the end of this journey, I invite you to take one final deep breath. The art of letting go is a lifelong practice, but it begins with a single step, choosing to be present. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Presence isn't about achieving some ideal state. It's about coming back to yourself again and again with compassion and curiosity. Thank you for joining me today. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue this journey together. Until next time, take care and stay present.